All right, welcome to lesson number 3. This one is a little math intense. We're going to be using some things that a lot of my students have never used before, sine, cosine, tangent, stuff like that, that's not used till students usually get into trigonometry and stuff. So it might be a little bit intimidating, but it's okay. We're using math. A lot of people haven't used it before or don't use it very much, but at least you'll be able to say you've used it instead of asking your teacher, when will I ever use this? Okay. So hopefully it'll start making more sense as you get higher in your math abilities. But we're not going to go too deep into how it works, but we're going to give you the equations that work for gravity. Okay, so we're going to be defining gravity, not defying gravity, but defining gravity here. Anyway, so kind of fun. All right, to start out, we're going to go to the stage right here, and we're going to add in some variables. We're going to do gravity and the gravity angle. Okay, so make a variable and call it gravity. Okay, just like that. We'll say okay, and then we'll do another one. So make a variable and we'll call it gravity angle. No space, just gravity angle, all one word. Okay, so they appear over here in the screen. Just it adds them in. If you don't want them there, you can get rid of them later, but for now we want to be able to see them. Okay, we want to, at the beginning when we click the flag, we want to set these things. Make sure you change friction to gravity and then gravity angle. We want gravity to be set to 0.1 and the gravity angle to be 180, okay? And then we're going to make two of these. We're going to use, just like we did with friction, one to modify it and the other one to reset. So we need two of those event handlers. So one space twice. We're going to change this one to G for gravity, and T is right above it. So we'll use that for the reset. So T, so G and T, and we'll go down to the variables again. One's going to be change, just like above up here, and the other one's going to be set. All right, so change friction, or not friction, sorry, this is going to be gravity, and gravity. We're not going to do it for gravity angle. That will always stay at 180. This one will be by 0.01, and this can just take away gravity, and then you can always bring it back. We'll start the game with a little bit. You can add it or take it all away, and that's kind of how it works. Let's do a little test. We'll hit the green. We can slow down the ball, and let's just hit the letter G, and that should change, and the letter T should make it 0, so they work. Okay, they don't affect the ball yet because we have to program that in. All right, so let's go to the ball and let's start making the equation. I'll give you a little preview. Down here we have what we call a backpack, and I already made it, and I'm just going to drop it in here. It puts it in, let me put it in the right spot here. Let's drag it up here. This might seem a little bit crazy, but here it is. All right, so that's what we're going to be making for gravity, and I'll show you how it all works. Okay. So we need to make a block called gravity, because I guess we could stick this all in there, but we're going to make a block and call it gravity. Okay. And we're going to say run without screen refresh. That also makes it run really fast. So that's another reason why we want to make this block and stick it in there instead of putting the whole equation in the program. This kind of puts it in turbo mode right here. And when it's running in turbo mode, it runs this a lot faster. Okay, so when we put it outside and we say define gravity right here, boom, and then we put gravity in right here, then it's going to do this code like super fast. Okay, so that's another reason why we do that. but I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to kind of shrink me a little bit. There we go. And we're going to come in closer, about like that. Now you can see all of this stuff. Okay, we're going to focus on just this piece right here, okay? So ignore that, okay? We'll drag it out of there. We're just gonna do this. So what do we have here? Well, we have a variable set speed. So there's the set speed, boom. And we have all these little equations here. So let's figure out what we have. So we have a direction right here. That's the blue. Nope, this blue up here. Very bottom, there's the direction. Okay, operators are probably where we're going to find the rest of this stuff. So down here where it says absolute, all I have to do is put that down and find the square root, and let's duplicate that, and we'll change that to cosine, so COS. So there's a square root, a cosine. We're going to need 5 of these times signs, 2, 3, oops, 4. I keep putting them inside of each other. And come on, 5. So there's 5 of those. I really want to be inside. Okay, 5 of those. And need speed like 3 times. So let's go down to the variables. Let's get speed 3 times. 1, 2, 3. We have gravity 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1 direction, 3 speed, 3 gravity, square root of cosine, 5 times a plus and a minus. I left out too soon. Okay, plus and minus. All right. So if you look at these tiles, you see how they're stacked on top of each other. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and you got to stack them the exact same way that I did on here. Okay, and so let's start with the one on top. So cosine of direction. Boom. That one's done. And we stick it. We need a times. So gravity. I keep moving the wrong thing. And then put the cosine inside of it. All right. So and then next is speed times gravity. So speed times gravity. It's getting longer. And then we need a 2 times. So all you have to do is just click and say 2. And then make sure you grab this off the bottom tile. If you grab it up here, it's going to disconnect. So grab it right there. Boom. So we have half of it done over here. Now there's these over here. So we want a gravity times the gravity and a speed times the speed. And we want both of those inside of a plus like that. And here's this minus. We're going to put this one on one side of the minus and this one on the other side of the minus. Okay. And all of that will go inside of the square root. Boom, like that. Does that match? I think so. And then all of that goes inside of the set speed 2 and then put it on there. All right, so there it is. So I can take this and I can get rid of it. Now we need to create this one right here. Okay, so we need an if else. So let's get that. It's in control. Grab an if then else and go ahead and stick it on there. We need a speed less than gravity. So let's go to variables, get our speed, gravity, and a less than. Boom. I like to get all the pieces first and then put them inside and then put it inside there. That's what works for me anyway. Point in direction. So that would be under motion, point in direction, and just put in the 180. That one's easy. Now this next one has a bunch of tiles again. So let's look and see what's inside of there. Speed and direction. So let's grab our direction since we're right here. There's the direction. Speed and gravity are variables. So grab a speed and a gravity, speed. Sine and a sine. Okay, so two of these. One of them needs to be sine, and one of them needs to be, it's called arc sine. So a and then sine, right there. And we need a times and a divide. Let's go to operators again, times and divide. All right, let's start putting this together. The one on top is sine of direction. So let's put that together. Sine of direction. Boom, that one's done. Next, we need to times that by gravity. Pretty sure, yep, times it by gravity. So here's a times. Put gravity on one side and put the sine on the other. The next layer down has the speed on this side and gravity on all that on that side. Does it match? Looks like it. Okay. Oh, we forgot the turn. So that's in motion. Turn. Oh, we need to take the arc sine of all of it. Grab it by the divide because that's the bottom. Slap it in there. Now grab it by the of and put it inside there. And then grab it by the turn and stick it in the else. Looks like all that is good. I'll just drag it off the screen and it'll disappear. Okay, so hopefully you were able to follow along with that. Try to make it easy for you. Let's make me bigger and that one. Let's try it out. All right, so I'm going to move the kickers up out of the way. Click on the ball. Let's increase gravity by a smidge. Slow down the ball. Don't let the kickers get in the way. Oh, come on. All right, speed up. But all right, if you look at the ball now, let's turn on the pen down. You'll see now the ball travels in an arc because gravity is pulling it down, speeding it up, but slowing it down when it goes up, speeding it up when it comes down, and it's all really cool. If I turn off gravity, then it just sits there and goes in a straight line. That's with no friction and no gravity. As soon as I start adding in friction and gravity, then things start changing. And you can fine tune it and figure out what works best for you. And that's kind of cool. So that's all there is to this one. One quick thing that I noticed, oh, dang it, there goes the light. That means I spent too long. Okay, so that's my sign to wrap it up. The speed limits, okay? The way to kind of fix that is to put the move speed steps below them because then they'll take effect before you move, okay? So it's kind of hard to move things unless you know what you're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect that and then put this where I want it to be and then reconnect. So just by moving it down here, now I can't go backwards. Remember before I could go backwards, just if I held down the button. So that fixes that problem. Anyway, go ahead and save it, file, save now, and then file, save as copy. And then I'll change that one to say 4 of 7. And so when I start the next video, I'll be using this one, and I'll still have the 3 of 7. It will remain how it is. All right, have a good day.